Hello, this is the Impossible Podcast. I'm Blair Glenn and this is Jamie Kelly. This week we'll be talking to Jamie and let you know about his amazing story and what's next for Jamie and the Resilience Partnership. Jamie is a Scotland Cerebral Palsy and Brain Injury goalkeeper and a great guy as well. How are you, Jamie?
All right, Blair. Um, I'm just chuffed you said I'm a great guy as well.
Got to say something. Somebody's got to say it. Uh, will we start? Will we start? Let's go.
Mhm.
Can you take us back to the moment you were diagnosed and how it shaped your mindset and what the hell it's called?
Aye. So it's called, well, there's three things because I like to be complicated. Uh, so the first one's hydrocephalus, which is swelling in the brain, fluid in the brain. So there's like excess, my brain's producing too much water um, or uh, brain fluid. Um, so it causes sort of like swelling. Second one is Chiari malformation, which is quite rare. There's a lot more studies in it now, but at the time back then there wasn't much. A lot of the studies were done in America. So it's when your brain's got a thing called the cerebellar tonsils, and they've descended down into my spinal cord by 17 millimeters. So essentially, as much as my brain was swelling, when it was pushing down, it was cutting off the sort of supply of the fluid. And then just because I wanted to be that wee bit extra, I got a thing called syringomyelia, which is because of everything that was happening in my brain. It was causing like pockets of like cysts inside my spinal cord and inside the kind of spinal column canal, um, which then led me to be paralysed three times. First, kind of when I was diagnosed, like how it shaped my mindset. Don't know. I guess it took me a long time to adapt and sort of understand the severity of what I was going through. I was sort of like in fight or flight mode, and I chose to fight it. And it kind of put a lot of things into perspective, but it's probably took me till now to actually appreciate how far I've came. If that makes sense.
Aye. Cool. What was the turning point that made you want to pursue football again after your brain injury?
Well, I always played football at different levels, and um, I remember when I get told the basically 97% chance I wouldn't walk again. Um, I'm not big in like manifesting things, and um, well, I wasn't big in manifesting things. I wasn't really. Always thought that was a bit fairy, like when people speak about that kind of thing in journaling and all that. But um, I visioned myself playing again. I visioned myself running again, um, and I just was like, you know what, like there's still that 3% chance, and that's kind of where my mindset had shifted. Because before I probably would have been like, all right, I'm done. Um, but then I started to appreciate the small things, like being able to wash myself, because I wasn't. There was a period of time where I had to get bed baths, and there was a period of time where I had a catheter in. There was a period of time where I couldn't go up to go to the toilet. Um, so you kind of lose all your dignity, and
Aye.
at that point, I was like, do you know what? If this is it, then now, then fine. But I will go and play again, and I will go. I mean, I think it says something when I book a 5K run, when like I'm still not able to walk. Like that. That was the shift. It was almost like you won't tell me, and I don't know. I guess it's maybe a bit of stubbornness and a bit of nah. You know what? You're not telling me that I can't walk again. You're not telling me that I can't do that because there's still a chance, and it's a 3% chance. It's a small chance, but I'm going to prove myself right, and I'm not proving you wrong because it's never been about you. It's about me, and I learned to be selfish at the right moments.
Aye.
And I remember the first time I played. Again, it was a Monday night or a Tuesday night. Anyway, start of the week, and I went out and bought a skull cap and bought the full Peter Cech look. I mean, I was absolutely hopeless for the first wee while. Probably still am hopeless,
Wasn't going to say anything.
but I just remember doing it, and I was like taking selfies and looking back, it's a bit cringy, right?
Mhm.
Like taking selfies with a skull cap on and thinking that I look healthy, but I really don't look healthy. Um, but that was a turning point. That was a moment of me going. He told me I wouldn't, but look,
Look at me now. Look at me now.
uh,
That's brilliant, mate. You said you were paralysed 3 times. What kept you going?
um, well, the sort of first time I was paralysed. Um, I don't actually know what the drive was. I just wanted to do it for me,
Hmm.
uh, because I was probably a physio's worst nightmare, and I know that I was a bit of a hassle for the hospital because I refused to leave. They brought a wheelchair into my room, and I was like, "Who's that for?" And they were like, "You." And something in my head. So I grew up with my granda having a stroke, and I seen the kind of struggles he went through, and like how limited he was in a wheelchair, and um, like I kind of helped look after him and stuff like that. So I guess he was always in the back of my mind, going. I watched that man learn to walk again, and he went in a chair to go long distances, but in the house he done his best to walk. So if he could do it at the age of whatever age he was, uh, I can do it young. So I was like, if I go in that chair, that'll be me for the rest of my life. Whereas I'm at the time I was 20, early 20s, 21, 20, I don't know, 22, something like that. And I was like, that'll be me for the rest of my life. I'll be getting bed baths, I'll be getting pushed about, I'll not have my independence. I live alone at that time. So I was like, I don't have anybody to look after me here. Like this is for me. I need to do this for me. Um, so I refused to leave the hospital when I was 8 months in the hospital, but I walked out yet. Second and third time, Donna will remember this very well. I don't know how she'll remember it, but basically our sons were just born. So the day before our sons were born, so Joseph was born in 2018, Daniel was born in 2019, and the day before they were born, I got an emergency scan, and they basically said, it's grown again in your spine, and we're going to need to go in and operate. And I was like, I know what this means. Like, there will be a period of time where I won't feel it. And they were like, there's a possibility, but it's quite high. So they allowed me to see the birth of my sons, and then uh, I went in and I was paralysed again a week. Joseph was a week old, and Daniel, I think, was 10 days old. So I was a new dad. Uh, Donna was a, Donna was a new mum again, and like I then that was the drive. Like I had to do it for them. I had to do it for my boys. I had to do it for Donna. I had to do it for like everyone that needed me, because it then became not just about me. It came about them. And like I remember going back to my granddad. Like I remember he would always make time and effort to come and watch you play football and that. But if nobody could bring him, he couldn't come.
Right.
And I didn't want that for my boys.
Aye. Aye. Totally. Totally. Everything seems to be about them when you've got them. Everything
Aye,
we do.
aye,
It's
aye.
all about people that we love, that are close to us.
And
That's
even like Donna brought them into the hospital, and this hand
aye.
was all. And there's a picture. In fact, I'll try and share the picture with you at some point.
Aye.
But there's me, and I'm holding the bottle like that, and I've got Joseph like that, and I'm feeding him. But I wanted to do it. I was
Aye.
determined that I would do it, because I didn't want to let that stop me.
Aye. Aye. I've got some of the exact same pictures of me, and it's just crazy. It's crazy what we do.
Aye.
Aye, aye, 100%. So, what does it mean to wear a Scotland shirt on an international stage?
Um, Surreal, I guess. Like it's something that you'd never really, well, something I never really envisioned happening. Um, I I didn't know anything about para football. I didn't know anything about, well, probably ignorant to it. Um, I get introduced to it through Johnny Patterson, and like I think it was within about 3 4 months I was down at St George's, and I'd never been to St George's, and I'm just like, this is like, we're playing here, like this is like, and then played against America, and they were just top level. Like watching them play, like just some of the, you think these guys are para footballers. Like it just is, I surreal. And some of the boys you came up against, you would never know uh, until they told you their journey's kind of similar to us. You would never know until they tell you what's wrong with them. But I surreal. Um, I'd like to um, look back when I'm older and go, do you know what? I've achieved a lot, and that there's not many people that can pull on an international shirt and play in international tournaments. And even if it was just one cap, that's more than some people will ever be able to do in their life.
Aye, aye, 100% agree. And to be fair, you can look back now and say you've done a brilliant job. Brilliant job. Who was your toughest opponent and what did you learn for that match?
Uh, I got a hiding off of Ukraine. Uh,
Just one.
nah, well, I only played the one game. I've only played the one game again, but it was every time we scored, it was like they're going to score five. To the point where I started shouting during the game, "Just pass the ball, don't shoot. Make shots, lads.
Keep it your own half.
Just pass." And then I remember I tried to Cruyff a boy. Uh, and like he looked as if when he they're just so good at what they do. Like they don't look as if they're bothered. And
Aye,
then we just go bang. And I thought, like anybody that knows me knows that I like a Cruyff turn, and it's kind of 99% of the time it pays off. However, this Ukrainian boy nicked it and it went by the post, and I was like, oh wow. Did it stop me from doing it? No, but it was the fear that was like, all right, okay, I'm going to need to like take this up a wee level here.
aye, aye. Rein it in a bit. Just a
uh,
bit.
aye, but no, they were probably the hardest, just because they make it look so easy, and they don't look as if they get out of second gear. Like they just allow you to have the ball, and then I don't know. It's like watching a wizard. Like
Aye.
they just out of nowhere, there's 5 goals in the back of the net, and you're like, how the hell did that happen?
It's crazy because I've watched Ukraine. I've been at many tournaments and I've watched Ukraine, and the only time they've ever came out of second gear was against Russia, and that was it.
Well, they've got
Ukraine, Russia are the best teams in that have played para football, and it was just
aye,
crazy to watch.
aye. That's like Scotland England though for the
Aye,
minute. That's
aye,
a derby match.
aye. It is, especially with para football. They know they've got to be the top two.
Yeah.
But aye. So Jamie, how do you balance your roles in football and in work life? Because we have got jobs.
We do have, and if anybody picks up on that, I'll be uh, balance. To begin with, it was so I've just changed my role, my job role. I had quite a hectic job work life balance. I worked in football, and try to work in football and playing in football, they don't really go hand in hand. Um, you probably notice that there was a period last year I couldn't make training and stuff like that because, well, I just couldn't,
Aye,
because my job told me otherwise. Um, so I've changed my job role now, and it's sort of I'm not working in football, which then frees up the time to allow me to enjoy playing. And I guess try to do those two, like working in football and playing football, it took the fun out of it for me. A wee bit like you would have. I mean, me and you had many chats about
Aye.
how frustrated I was with my job and how it took the love of the game away from me altogether. Like I didn't enjoy playing it either, and I kind of feel like now I'm doing a Monday to Friday job and I've got the time with my family and the work-life balance a little bit better. I'm starting to enjoy my playing again, and I guess that's important. But how I balance it is just, I mean, I feel like I'm running about like a taxi every night, and Donna feels the same. Like with the boys, we've got quite a few boys at a few different clubs, so it's trying to balance that, but also balance a job, balance everything else that you need to do, plus get your training in. But I'm just fortunate that Donna allows me to do it, because I think she kind of deserves the credit that I probably don't give her at times, with allowing me to go away to like tournaments for 2 weeks at a time and stuff like that. So it can be hard, it can be challenging, especially when you can't be bothered and maybe your body's hurting or you're not feeling it. It can be hard, but it's just one of those things that I think when you're there, you kind of forget everything that's happening. Well, now it feels like that, whereas before I think football got on top of me.
Cool. So you are the co-founder of the Resilience Project. What inspired that, and what is the mission? This will be good for me to hear. This will be good for me to
hear. I think what inspired it was when we had that chat down in Loughborough recently at the Euros. It was about like we want to, like, we're not getting any younger, and there doesn't seem to be as many people coming through as maybe there was at one time, and then it was like there's got to be more people out there that are younger people that are in or in similar situations or have similar journeys, and sort of like, how do we get the message out there? How do we use our stories to empower people? How do we, like, not just to play football, like even like for example, I'm going to say we both work, but that's no easy when you've got ability, and it's kind of to like let people aware that they're not alone. And I mean, we done that presentation in St Ninians recently, and like I mean, some of the kids in there probably had never heard the struggles that people with disabilities face, and it's about changing the narrative. I think that was it was like two stories, one mission, and it was to change the narrative and make it a better environment, a better world for people with disabilities. Because although we're in 2025, discrimination is still a massive thing, and they just kind of polish it up with something else now instead. Like, they'll find ways to make it not about discrimination because they know that they are bound legally, but they'll make it tough. And even with football teams, like if you go to mainstream football, some of them take one look at you and go, nah. And it's not through your ability, it's because they don't want somebody that isn't as capable.
Or they think isn't as capable.
Aye, but they don't take the time to try and understand what they can do for you. And there's just a lot, like, not just in the workplace, like not just in football, but in everyday life. Like, you see people, like, I mean, I've got no shame in saying I've got a blue badge and parking a disabled space, and some of the abuse I get for parking disabled space, and I'm like, you don't know my journey, you don't know what I've been through, and you can't just go and get a blue badge for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean?
You're telling me.
So it's no easy, like, but you do get the people, and the kind of first time I really noticed it was during COVID, because I couldn't. But like, because I've got the shunts in my lungs and that, I couldn't wear a mask.
Mhm.
And like, that was like, I was like, the amount of fights I nearly get in because people were like, "Where's your mask?" I'm like, "I can't wear one," but you look fine, but I'm not fine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's trying to like use our stories to help people deal with life, I guess, that maybe goes through something similar, and let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And just because people say you can't do it doesn't mean that you can't.
Aye.
But like, I mean, it is possible to do it, and we are kind of like walking, talking examples of that.
Aye. Aye. Exactly. And the fact that we've developed this disability that we've got, it's unlike people with cerebral palsy and that. We've lived on the side that, like, for however short a time, we've lived on the side with able-bodied people
Mm-hmm.
and then lived on the disabled side, and it is hard. It is hard. So, totally get it. What message would you hope to share?
Oh,
Good question, eh?
that's a good question. It's through. Just appreciate life. Appreciate life's too short.
Aye.
Life is far too short to worry about. And you see people. I know money makes the world go round, right? And you see people chase money all the time, but you can't take it with you. And you come into the world with nothing.
Aye.
Your health. Some people, right?
Aye.
We came in with our health,
Mhm.
and we lost it. So just appreciate every minute that you've got, because you never know the day that the world can be weeked away from your feet. And we've experienced that. Like, I probably was ignorant and didn't appreciate life. I
Aye.
probably didn't live life the way I should have. I probably took it for granted. So the message, I guess, would be just live in the moment. Like, stop worrying about what people think of you. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. And I see if all your bills are paid and you've food on the table and a roof over your head, nothing else matters.
Aye. Exactly. Exactly. I like that. Live in the moment. How do you see the future of para sport evolving in Scotland?
Um, I would like it to be more inclusive for everyone. I'd like the not just football, but in general, I don't think it gets enough publicity. I don't think. I mean, there's probably a lot of red tape that we aren't aware of,
Yeah.
and it, I'm not saying that para sports don't do everything they can within their means. They do, but I would really like to see the government back it a bit more,
Aye.
and or the authorities back it a bit more. And just because it's para athletes doesn't mean it's any less valuable or important than able-bodied athletes. If anything, without saying it, if anything, they're probably more important because they're facing challenges already, and
Aye.
they don't get treated any different from able-bodied athletes. Like, everything's the same. What's expected of you? So
Mhm.
you'll be able to perform at the top of your level when you're ready, or when they're ready for you.
Aye.
Try like more funding first and foremost. I'd like to see, and I'd like to see more publicity in terms of like mainstream stuff. Like, actually get it out there, get it on the TVs, even if it's like, doesn't even need to be like, I don't know what you call that, but see when it's like on at like prime time. That's the word.
Aye.
It doesn't need to be then. Just get it on there,
Aye.
and it's
Aye.
something. But I know we're a long way away from that. But I would like to see that grow, and I'd like to see more young people, especially like the young ones, like get more access to that, and even like have like community hubs. I know they do community hubs for like for like the homeless football and the walking football and all that. Community hubs for para football.
Aye. I 100% agree with that. And like, I live in the east, you stay through the west. But if they just had in for some of the boys in the east that could all meet up, and then we could take people like the development squad or people that aren't even in the squad but love football. We could all just meet up, get a kick about, and just talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Aye, because I think it would help them not just physically but mentally as well. Like, because
aye,
you do feel. Well, I know I did. I felt quite isolated because you don't want to see anybody. But when I met you guys, as much as sometimes I can't stand these all uh
big.
like yeah, no uh, like you just gave me a sense of being, a sense of belonging, like, as I could talk to you about anything and know that you wouldn't be judgy.
Or we've struggled through the same thing.
Aye, aye.
Totally, totally. Right, Jamie, who is your football hero when you were growing up?
Right. So when I was a wee laddie, right, it was Simon Donnelly, right,
Right, right.
um, and then Henrik Larsson obviously came,
Mhm.
and he was probably him and Simon Donnelly first. When I was a wee guy, I used to like get my my grand and all that to take me into Celtic Park to see Simon Donnelly,
Brilliant.
and then Henrik Larsson, and then probably the one that stood out when I actually watched a game at Parkhead was Messi. Like when he was when he had the long greasy
Aye.
hair that it looked as if he'd just been found in the street,
Aye.
squad and tore it up. Um, but I probably Henrik Larsson. I know it's cliche because
Aye.
but he was probably the one that I liked the most. There's been others, but nah, he was probably the apart from Simon Donnelly. There's no comparison there, though, is there?
No, there's no, there's no. Some people will be asking who Simon Donnelly is. Type in their phones, Simon Donnelly. What is next for Jamie Kelly?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Like, I want to. Well, I've been training outfield.
Mhm.
Um, recently, I've been playing a Monday outfield. I'm doing all right, I
Do you
think.
like it?
Aye, aye.
Aye.
I do like it. I kind of found that I'm a bit more confident now. Always knew I could play. It was more the fear of getting hurt, but I don't really bother about that now. I'm able to manipulate my body in certain ways after throwing myself out a goal. So, uh,
I'm just going to say, you've been a goalkeeper, you've been getting
uh,
hurt.
but yeah, you know how to land properly, and I guess it's more how like I don't know, it's the unpredictability of other people around you when you're outfield. But no, I've been training outfield. I'm enjoying it. Um, so we'll see where that takes us. And then we'll just keep going with it. But I've I've got fitter. I've lost a bit of weight, so that certainly helps.
You look for, you look for. Last question. Can you give a piece of advice to your younger self? What would it be?
Um, just not to take life too seriously. Like I guess I know you know how my character is. I can be quite a serious person at times and get annoyed at things that probably I don't need to get annoyed at.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I kind of see glimmers of that in Joseph, my son, and
It's
but
definitely yours.
I just not take life too seriously and like I guess I learned that right. I was reading a book called the Let Them Theory, and it's just about like letting people decide their own fate and make their own mistakes and all that kind of thing. And if that was around when I was a wee guy, it would have definitely helped, because I always get, like, I wore my heart on my sleeve, and I get too emotionally involved, and things annoyed me that didn't need to annoy me. So just relax and just be me rather than trying to fix everything. I was a fixer.
Fixer. What are you now?
Don't know, somebody that drops bombs.
Brilliant. And on that, we'll end it. Thanks a lot, Jamie.
No worries, pal.
Thank you.